Ladies and gentlemen, was that intense enough for you? Wow. And we move on with an even bigger matchup. Our next match will contest Georgia against the United States of America in the men's light heavyweight division, 105 kilograms. The first of our athletes hails from and is representing Georgia. He is a multiple Georgian national champion, multiple EAF European champion, and a multiple WAF champion of the world. Please welcome Irakli Zirakashvili.
Irakli Zirakashvili, 25 years old, Georgian puller. We know all about this young man. He's been pulling all over in every promotion. Super explosive, well known for his top roll, but has been on a great streak since his previous outing in East vs. West vs. Todd Hutchings.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may ask yourself, who's the best? We're going to show you who's the best. This man hails from and is proudly representing the United States of America, and he is a multiple champion of the world and is universally recognized as the greatest arm wrestler of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the perfect Storm John Brzenk!
If any of us need to say anything about John Brzenk, we have failed as arm wrestlers, we have failed as arm wrestling commentators, we have failed as promoters and enthusiasts of this sport. This is the greatest puller of all time. Make no mistake about it. 58 years old, still dangerous as ever, facing the young lions, pulling in every event. I don't think he has skipped any event in East versus West. He's just so impressive. I'm so happy to see John Brzenk back on arm wrestling table, and I believe you are as well, Travis.
I mean, listen, I almost shedded a tear just listening to this man's introduction. There are very few people in this world that I feel that I super look up to as a mentor, as a hero, as a father figure. Whatever you want to say, I feel that way about this young man, John Brzenk. 58 years young, absolutely incredible. So wearing it, just sporting the hat there, no problem. John Brzenk is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen, and he's the reason that I am here to see him. A little jealous last time to see all the people here, and now John Brzenk is in the house, and I'm happy to be here watching. Here we go, round one. We're about to see. I told John, stay selfish here. Keep that wrist curl a little bit. Keep close to him.
Let's go, John. More. Wrist. Yeah, good. Go ahead. Ready, go.
Oh! What a massive hit there. Oh! Ominous for Zirakashvili there. Brzenk looking to bait that hand and wrist. And definitely got some purchase. Straps don't lie. Here we go.
And I think if you're a general U.S. arm wrestler, you feel, hey, Todd Hutchings took care of Irakli. John Brzenk 100% is going to take care of this. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, styles make matches. Irakli got some hand and wrist position on Todd Hutchings. But if we know who Todzilla is, he's totally comfortable with that little bit of kinked back hand there. His side pressure stays initiated in that situation. John Brzenk, a different guy. Requires a little more purchase on the hand, a little more rotation, and if he can get in there, you're going to see John Brzenk be dominating. But don't be surprised if Irakli is incredible top roll.
From the start from Irakli Zirakashvili, he'll try and hit hard to the side, separates John a little there, but the brakes go on, and the Storm starts to gain a little hand control and hold up that hand and wrist, and there is the buckle from Zirakashvili, and that is ominous signs for the young Georgian.
No, relax, John, relax, John. Bleed him out, baby. Just relax there, big guy. Don't let him pin himself.
No. Foul there from Zirakashvili. Zirakashvili, but the biggest problem that Irakli has here is that he sacrificed his hand and wrist there, and John, you could see how much the Perfect Storm was enjoying his day.
And the surge coming with the compromised hand and wrist usually gets cinched in for the entire super match.
It really does, because the problem there is, for those watching at home, once you've done that, you go past the elastic limit of the arm. Once you go past the elastic limit of the joint, recovery is extremely difficult. Zirakashvili needs to change something. He needs to go with a little straighter wrist and protect it more. John Brzenk has got great opportunities now, and I think he's going to start to put on a show.
There's no doubt. And you think about this, John Brzenk looking for a $10,000 bonus here from his sponsors in Louisiana, the Fusion Flowback Equipment Company. Just, they're watching the broadcast here. They've already announced it, the Perfect Storm. Listen, big time things happening again for the GOAT of arm wrestling.
Zirakashvili adjusting the position on the hand and wrist much higher. He's driven that lower palm forward, and he's going to try and hit with a much deeper punch. Big drive, and there it is, but the brakes are on again. Now watch John Brzenk. He'll hang off that lap, protect the pronator. He's looking to bust back the wrist of Irakli. Irakli starting to try and tease John's wrist and try to gain some purchase, but John, all that pressure is going to... Oh, this is great for Brzenk. He's happy with that. Oh, my word, what a drive.
No doubt, and those patience, right? I think the patience will work out for John
without
as
question.
this match goes. However, Irakli did show a lot of ridiculous heart right there. I haven't seen Irakli finish.
He showed the unexpected is what he showed. We've never seen that from him before, and this is a brilliant transition. When the wrist flopped back, I expected him to be really comfortable with that, but I'll tell you what, that was great from Zirakashvili. A new move for that guy, and it worked very, very effectively. Now, questions to be asked, how gassed is John?
And what happens when you see, that's the trick play, the Hail Mary, the reverse that you see in all these football games early. When teams use those extra plays and those crazy situations in order to get an early win, you just wonder how many times can the Georgian go to that move. I don't see it happen, and I see John Brzenk being much more aggressive once he gets control of the hand and wrist this time.
It's interesting, isn't it? It changes the game immensely, because if you look across at John, you remember this is a man approaching 60 years old. He's blowing. And this is a very young athlete he's facing. It's a vibrant athlete, and it's a guy that's just realized, wait a minute, I may have another lane here. Maybe I don't need to run. Maybe I can go straight at this guy. And we may see that from Zirakashvili.
Let's see if he has the lane now that John knows that the lane exists. I'm thinking John thought, this is the bleeding out. I can wait here. He'll pin himself before this round is over. And then you see the transition, you see the purchase, you see the drive, and you start to think, if Irakli wins this, man, that shoulder is going to be screaming on his ride home on that
Well,
airplane
let's just
tomorrow.
talk about another angle on that. Obviously, just as that went in, I mean, I showed my colours and said, oh, John will be happy with this. And I think John probably was. As soon as the wrist was busted back, ordinarily, John Brzenk thinks the threat's over, and he goes to rest there and just puts the damage on the wrist. What nobody expected, apparently including John, was for Irakli to dive on it with the shoulder. Now, however, John is aware of that, and we know that he's got every box ticked to protect it.
And John had the good side of the strap going through there. Now in round two, he's going to see the buckle on the back of his hand. Should be a little bit better here. I just don't see any sort. Yes,
better access to the wrist, Travis. Straight away. Now he'll go on the offensive much more, and he'll protect the side much more. Very different approach from John Brzenk. Zirakashvili selling that elbow.
And you can see the angle, right? If that thing is set at 10 o'clock, if there's an ability to get the shoulder behind it to really drive. John Brzenk keeping that thing right at 12 o'clock, and you see the desperation. We've seen 3 starts. One a win, and 2 times that Irakli has intentional fouled when you see the match going clearly in the Perfect Storm's direction.
And that's showing his experience without a shadow of a doubt. Zirakashvili there knew he was in serious trouble. He bails and he looks for the restart to get a better groove.
You saw one attempt at the top row, a little bit of hand position, where in the earlier starts you would see 2 or 3 surges from Irakli there. One surge going straight to that press, but that press not being in the right angle. angle. Ladies and gentlemen, and I've said this about 30 times, what you are watching is absolutely extraordinary. This guy is better at arm wrestling than anyone is at anything else in the world. Take it in right now. You never know when it's going to be over with John Brzenk. What an extraordinary time that we're in.
Now, as I said a moment ago, the big adjustments made by John there in the setup, in the positioning of the lower palm, and it carried over. Never forget, it's the punch that you didn't see coming that puts you on your ass. And John didn't see the press. Nobody saw the press coming from Zirakashvili. Now that he knows that's there, it will be a different approach. From Zirakashvili's perspective, he's got to hope that he's put enough miles on the clock to tire the older athlete. John, very diligent now. He's very tuned into this match, looks much more awake. He knows he's going to get better access to Zirakashvili's wrist and does so again. Now he's a little stretched open, not quite as good there, but that's an excellent block from John.
Here comes the transition to the press here. It's about to happen. Irakli being very intelligent about not sinking it in. Right here it comes. Now, John Brzenk at 12 o'clock standing there. There's a lot of problems there with Irakli. There's no way to finish the perfect storm in this position.
Now, John, if he's smart, he's just going to hang in there for a while. There it is. There's the press finish. And to be honest, Zirakashvili not contesting it. He knows that every second that goes onto the clock in that position is doing damage to himself. And John, little resting spot. Experience counts. Brzenk in front. Let's listen in the corners. John working hard for his supper tonight, but look at John's resting spot there, that little climb, but what he's doing is preventing himself going on the B side. Just anchor point, and as soon as Irakli felt there that he had no purchase, sells it.
And let's talk about the career and history of John Brzenk. What does he do against Irakli? The greatest top roller in this division. I mean, this guy is pure iron outside, Neil. And what does John do? He takes the hand of him 3 of the 2 stars.
I mean, let's be honest here,
incredible.
Travis. He's had a lot of training for this with guys like yourself, Arsen Liliev. This guy has pulled so many styles. Often we talk about the biggest threat to John. This style is a problem for John. It is, but we're scratching because no style is a problem for John if John is there and present in the match. And it's fantastic and truly unbelievable that we've still got an athlete that approaching 60 years of age can contest it with the youngest prime athletes in his weight division on earth. And that is what you are seeing. The perfect storm is just that.
What a man, what a man. Ladies and gentlemen, John Brzenk in Istanbul, in control. Irakli, absolute phenomenal athlete, and John beating him at his game. What an absolute stud.
And you know, the interesting thing is, this is doing a lot of favors also for Irakli Zirakashvili. He will go away from this match much smarter and more experienced. He has just crossed paths with an arm wrestling god, and there's so many lessons that he can learn from this. So many lessons we can all learn from this. Anyone who aspires to dominate this game, watch what is happening in front of you. The adjustments, the nuance from John Brzenk, the positioning, the fact that he's fatiguing a man half his age. Truly remarkable. Myself and Travis are taking it in. This is our hero.
Absolutely. What a treat to be right here. I mean, what are we in, round 3? Is this round 3? Or round 3? So 1-1, but clearly in charge of the GOAT.
Now,
Look
once
at
again,
John Brzenk.
we can see straight away access to the hand and wrist by John, and he pulls up in the center there and denies the A side from Zirakashvili. Little climb, little bump. There's the transition attempt, couldn't get it, but he's climbed again and he'll start to diligently work around. Every time there's a breath, he'll collect. And Zirakashvili doesn't have the heart for that. Another pin for the Storm.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, so impressed with John Brzenk. What a man, what a man. 2-1 now, and clearly there is no lane for Irakli to come with a win here. John Brzenk absolutely dominating here in Istanbul.
Look at the effort there from Zirakashvili. Pushed hard to the side, but he's damaging himself. It's attritional. And John, with the little climbs, the little bumps, and then the squeeze to the side, shutting down the light on the younger man. The Georgian drives for the pad on the breath. Counter, winner, Brzenk as usual.
But it's good. Yeah, but it's good. That's fun.
Yes, I will do. Yeah, do the same and send the maximum, don't give. That's all.
That speaks volumes right there. You see John Brzenk, the GOAT, over there between matches. He's got a Russian counterpart. Dennis, his coach and manager over there, interested in the GOAT. Look at there. Look at the rubbing takes place. Oh, man, that should be me, Neil. I should be down there rubbing up on the GOAT right now.
One of the most incredible things about John is the fact that he's so everyman, so approachable. See if we can catch the words from Mike and John there.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Michael Todd there, Mr. Captain Obvious there. What kind of coaching could you possibly be helping him with? He's up 2-1, dominating right here. Is that just a way for you to get a little camera time there? Monster, get in the back and get ready for Ungerbayev. I'll take over the coaching of one John Brzenk, son.
Difficult situation to be in now for Irakli Zirakashvili. He started so brightly. He's actually shown more of his game than he's ever shown before, tried to change things up. This is a fabulous arm wrestler.
Well, it just shows you, too, the purchase that he got on that top row early in the first round. He was separated. He had changed the connection enough that even with a move that he's probably not in his wheelhouse, was able to have so much leverage there to push down. And I think John was hoping that that match would last about 20 more seconds before Irakli would give up, and kind of backed up a little bit, was a little surprised by the surge, and that's how we got to that one win on Brzenk. Since then, absolutely John Brzenk fashion, just stopping everything in the center of the table, and then knowing that any sort of surge by you would compromise the hand and wrist, and then John knowing not to let him in that 10 o'clock to where that angle's there, keeping it up there at around 12 o'clock, and now match 4.
There's the
Once
drive.
again, the surge, the hand being compromised, the GOAT now, you'll see him start to look at the bicep, look at the crowd. No reason to be in a hurry. Irakli will take care of everything.
It's over. John Brzenk there looking to the side. Zirakashvili's heart's not it. Here comes the press from John. Hanging on it there. Great from Irakli just to hang in as long as he did there. John, little climb, and he's allowing access. Wow! He gassed out. Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. Think about that. Think about what you're seeing. You're seeing the guys that are trying to win losing the advantage. That's 2-2. John Brzenk, man, what a man. And this is another thing that the GOAT does.
Wow.
It's always a 4-3, 4-5 round compromise. Even there, you imagine that John, no chance of thinking there'd be enough side pressure there for a win.
Hats off to Irakli Zirakashvili right there. Posted up the back pressure, made John work. John committed, came in for the press potentially a little early. We can see it there on the replay. You cannot take that away from Irakli Zirakashvili. Twice in this match, that young man has shocked me. Remarkable performance. And what an exciting matchup.
And what a great, now you can see even how proud Irakli, his entire team will be, regardless of the thing here. And I'll tell you, man, a part of this is scary. I think John has to really wait. He has to really wait for Irakli to give up. Any sort of trying to get rid of this match early is turning out to be bad for both people. The surge is getting stopped and countered each time.
Fatigue is becoming a thing. I said earlier in the match that Zirakashvili's got to hope that he's put enough miles on the clock of John, put enough damage into him that he simply runs out of gas. I've got to be honest, I didn't think that was going to be the case there. But John feeling the pace of the match there. Big breaths. What adjustments are going to be present now? Now, quite interesting for Irakli, because twice he's seen that he's got enough arm strength. If he can connect early and keep the match anywhere near the center, keep John chasing him, he can do something here.
Yeah, there seems to be a great angle there, and it seems that once John changes that connection to further outside of the hand that he gets Irakli, he allows that palm to be free, and that's where the surge is coming from the Georgian. I tell you, I've never been, this is stressing me out being in this thing here. I want to be down there because John needs, I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay, but it'd be really nice to give him a little firm, little yelling at and let him know that he needs to be super aggressive here. And then really smart. Once he gets that wrist curl, no reason to change. Just keep, just like a snake, just keep tightening up, staying there at between 12, 10 o'clock. No reason to surge. I don't think you'll see John go after that.
Well, I was just going to say, Travis, the concern there is why did John surge so early? Because he's been accessing the hand easy. He's been climbing easy. Let's see what we get here off the start. There's a big drive. Now, Brzenk gets a much better position on the hand and wrist. Watch for the little pop lines.
Little regrip there. Watch.
Oh, he's waited, and that is not a good idea. Needs to hang tight now. Tighten up that line. Zirakashvili's selling it hard to the side, and John Brzenk, little climb. Edging up there, but he's showing the fatigue. You can see him looking to set up the edge around. He's trying to pulse. Big drive again from Zirakashvili, but he's gonna climb again, John, in a moment. There it is.
One more surge and he'll quit. One more surge.
Wow, that's on the ragged edge. Zirakashvili trying to hold into it there. He's selling everything. John has the A side, but it's marginal. Nowhere to go. There's the press. Wow, big drive, couldn't finish. He's got a great position, but Irakli, absolutely tenacious. John Brzenk with the bone block. Zirakashvili with the win. Irakli, Zirakashvili outlasts the goal. The perfect storm simply ran out of gas, and that is a phenomenal, an unexpected victory for the young Georgian. And John Brzenk is beaten in dramatic fashion in a match that at one stage he looked like he was going to dominate. Unbelievable stuff here at East versus West 6.
I cannot believe what I just seen. Ladies and gentlemen, Irakli with an absolute grinder right there. And it to the point where he's giving up. And then somehow the surge, every time John got aggressive to the pin pad, it ended up being a problem. Irakli, what a huge win for the young man from Georgia. John Brzenk, an absolute stud, sportsmanship. Super proud of the young man. Both of those guys will be feeling it in the morning. What an outstanding match here. My goodness, and maybe, man, the replay of John trying to win. Right here comes the surge. Check the replay. Look at that elbow right. Oh no, that was match 3. John Brzenk, you can see it on his face. The surge here in round 5. John Brzenk in control. You're thinking, there's a surge. Ooh, that was also match 3. We're showing all the replays here. This has got to be match 5 here. You saw John Brzenk there, just an inch from the pad. Just the positioning right there. There's no way you would have think that John was going to lose this match. What a huge side pressure surge using that chest and that tricep. What an absolutely outstanding match between Irakli and John Brzenk with your winner, Irakli doing it, and you can see the emotion, and what a proud moment. I remember the first time that I beat John Brzenk, not that there were many, but that is an absolute storybook memory that Irakli will have for the rest of his life.
Irakli, congratulations, you're one of the biggest in your career. You finally stopped John Brzenk's undefeated route. Were you expecting for this match to go that way?
Ну, ასეთ ბრძოლა მე ჩემი სპორტის კარიერაში არასდროს არ მქონია. ძალიან მოხარული ვარ ბოდიშიცა და დავიღალე და ძალიან ბედნიერი ვარ ამ გამარჯვებით. აი ასეთ ბრძოლას ნამდვილად ვერ მოველოდი და მგონია რომ ბრძოლა სპორტში ბოლომდე ყოველთვის ღირს.
So there is no chance that he would ever imagine that this match would go this way. It was toughest war in his entire arm wrestling career, and obviously he needs to catch a breath. But he cannot express his emotions right now, how excited he is and how happy he is because of all this history. And he also said that to fight till the end in the sport, it's always the option and you always have to go.
მე ვთვლი რომ ჯონი იყო მკლავჭიდის დასაწყისიც და დასასრულიც იქნება. მე 25 წლის ვარ და ჯონი 58 წლის და მე ბევრად დავიღალე ვიდრე ჯონი ძალიან ვაფასებ და შენ თვალში იყო ყოველთვის ლეგენდა და დარჩება ლეგენდად.
So he said that arm wrestling starts and ends with John Brzenk, and he's so much younger than John, but still he got more tired than John. That's why he appreciates him. John, you are the GOAT. You will always be the legend. You will always be the greatest of all time. Thank you for the match.
Thank you, Irakli. Congratulations on your match. Go take some breath.